Hi everybody, welcome to my easy pole dance warm-up for flow. First of all, we're going to start off by doing some figure 8 hip swivels. I like to make these a very slow movement. Now we're going to do sideways squats to the right. And now to the left. Now we're going to do a shoulder opener. Put your hands above your head, grabbing onto the pole and pushing your chest forward. Now we're going to do some forwards body rolls. First, start off with your head, your neck, your chest and your stomach. Trying to work through each part of your spine when doing these. The more flexible our backs are, the more fluid and flowy these will look. I actually have a very tight back, as you can see, but I'm working on it, and that's why we're here. Then now we're going to reverse these. Pressing up from your hips to your stomach, to your chest, to your neck, and then your head. Still trying to focus on working through each part of our spine, acknowledging each vertebrae. Now we're going to do some isolated leg figure 8s. I've started off with my left leg, but you can do whichever leg you prefer. Now some hip openers from the same position. I try to keep my knees as high as I can and really working through each part of my hip, going my full range of mobility. And now hip closes. Then we'll go to the other side and do the same thing, starting off with the isolated leg figure 8s. And now for hip openers on the same side. And hip closes. Now let's move down to the floor. Getting into a tabletop position, we're going to roll out our torso and back. Starting off by going one direction. I could actually personally spend a long time doing these. I love these so much, and they really get your body warm. Now the other direction. You can also get your neck involved with these, but you don't have to. Now for angry cat position, pressing your back upwards towards the roof. And happy cat position, pressing your stomach towards the floor. and lifting your head up and high. Now moving on to our backs, we're going to do some leg waves. These are actually a movement from the hips as well as the legs. Try to do these as slow as possible. These really get the core engaged and core going, and they generate a lot of body heat. I try and do these until exhaustion in all my warm-ups. You can see how I've tried to slow them down now. The slower they are, the harder they are, but then the more your core is actually engaged, which is what we want. A little added bonus for these is to leg wave down towards the floor, but still keep the legs floating. So waving your legs downwards and lifting them back up and then down again. These really get your lower core engaged. I find them very hard. My lower core is one of my weakest points at the moment, but I'm working on building it back up. Now for a quick pike stretch, leaning over with our feet flexed, feet pointed, arms above our heads, reaching over, trying to keep our backs engaged, our backs as flat as possible. Keeping our knees straight if we can. We don't have to be reaching as far as I am. Grabbing our feet, leaning over. And fully leaning over with our feet flexed now and no longer worrying about keeping a flat back. Now going back to the pole, grabbing our arms behind us and reaching our shoulders back and our chest forward. This is such a great shoulder opener and pec opener. Now we're going to do a neck stretch, grabbing it with one arm towards one side. And looking down. And then the other side with the other arm. And then looking down. Now rolling our shoulders and our arms back. And our shoulders and our arms forward. Now grabbing onto the pole, we're going to do a side stretch. I really feel these down the side of my torso. Now putting our forearm against the pole, we're going to press our chest and our body the other direction. This really opens up our pectorals. You should be feeling it here in your inner shoulder and chest. Now grabbing onto the pole with our arm, we're pulling that same direction. This is for a deeper stretch. Now repeating the same thing on the other side. I adore these side stretches. I just feel like they look so pretty and they're such a good stretch. Now forearm on the pole, we're going to press our chest forward again, feeling the stretch in our pectoral and our shoulder. I also am rolling my shoulder backwards when I'm doing this, so up and behind me. And our body is pushing the other direction. Now grabbing on with our arm and we're pulling away. Now for some wrist rolls, either direction. Now lifting up our leg, we're going to do some knee rotations, both directions. Our ankles, both directions. Lifting up our other leg, our knee rotations, both directions. And our ankles, both directions. And last but not least, flexing our feet up and down. And now we should be ready and warm and ready to dance. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like and subscribe. Thanks.